What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome into the Cover Price Weekly Top 10 for the week ending March 11th, 2025. We got Marty back, so that's a
Yes.
huge plus right out of the gate, right? Yeah, we missed his face, we missed his voice, everything. While you all are congregating, what's one I haven't played in a while? I feel like I'm just doing the same ones over and over. Well, this one's good.
That one.
This one's
good. 1, 2, ready.
There you go. It's official. It's Tuesday, guys. We have a really good list this week. A lot of surprises on the aftermarket. It'll be interesting for you guys to, weigh in the chat. Before we get started, though, let's do roundtable. Marty, hi.
I missed you guys. I really did. I missed everyone. And thank you for joining us as always. If you're in the chat on the live or catching us on the rewind, we appreciate you guys just joining us out of your busy days. I mean, my apologies for being away for so long, right? But nevertheless, I am back. But while I was away, I did happen to catch the 2 episodes of Daredevil, which came out. And oh my God, I just say O-M freaking G, right? I mean, amazing, amazing. They never fail to disappoint. And my heart's racing. I'm getting anxious thinking about it. I might have to go watch it right now. But nevertheless,
excited.
Thank you for joining us. I missed everybody. This is an interesting list tonight because I think people are going to make the list. It's interesting what people are buying out there. Some of them I can see why. So, but let's dive into it. Thank you, Laura. Good to be back.
It is good to have you back. I just miss your energy all the time. Speaking of good energy, Lando, say what's up.
Laura, I told you before the show, I was slightly grumpy because I got an hour taken away from me this weekend from sleeping.
Me too.
Right? It was terrible. It was terrible. But you guys, you make everything good again, especially the chat. So thank you for tonight. I'm excited. As you said, Marty's back. So now you know the OGs are here. I'm excited. I get to hang with the OGs, and we have a very interesting list. Chat, I wonder how many you guys have on this list. I don't think it's an O for Abyss. I think everybody has a chance tonight.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Especially if it's people that are buying, right? And if they're buying this, then hopefully some of these people that are maybe in the live might have bought some too, Let's see.
Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Let's dive on in. If you are just joining, this is the top 10. This list comes from our friends over at CovrPrice, and we are looking at aftermarket sales. So units sold, percentage growth. In other words, you guys decide every week what makes the list, and we always have a runners-up. Lando, what do we have for this week's?
Well, the runner-up this week is Brzrkr #1. This one here is the Mark Brooks foil by Boom Studios back in February 2021. When this book launched, there were already tons of rumors that this book would be a live series or movie. This past week, it was announced that not only was Mattson Tomlin, who we recognize from the Batman movie, he's penning the script, but that Justin Lin from Fast and the Furious, guys, Fast and the Furious, you go back to the OGs, it's some of my favorite. But anyways, he's going to be directing the Netflix film. If you enjoyed Keanu Reeves' bloody John Wick series, you are likely hyped to see him in a grittier role, as he is set to star in this series. In the meantime, grab a copy of the first issue of this series on the aftermarket for a fun read. We tracked 8 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 65% with a high sale of $50 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $7. So it's still affordable, guys.
Very, very.
Yeah.
I have this, but I don't have the foil version of this. Because I remember originally getting this, but this is a beautiful Mark Brooks. I really enjoy his artwork, the realism to it. the attention to detail and what he does with the human anatomy and everything. And he's on point. He gets it right. I loved his work on the Star Wars series too. You see a lot of his work on so many different Marvel books, DC books, even independent. So I'm a big fan of this. Big fan of Mark Brooks too.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You know, Brzrkr, I remember when it came out, everybody was, going a little crazy for it. I hate bringing up pandemic, but it was at the time, right? And a lot of people were trying to scoop this up. They came out with later prints as well. I don't know if you remember, speaking foils, there was the second printing, which is probably the nicest cover. I love that. It's so insane. And then you had the third printing, and those were limited. So if you guys come across some of those, I think they had gotten not limited, but I think they were like allocated to shops and stuff like that. I remember the second print was a little difficult for people to get, but yeah, man, I like this.
Yeah, it's absolutely very cool to see this popping up again. Like you already mentioned it, but in the chat said it too. It's crazy how much this has fallen. A 9.8 for $44 is not a bad deal. In grading, it costs $30. So you're adding another $14 and you're getting the number one and a foil. And with all the spec going, I would be happy with that purchase.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So here we go. Number 11, the runners up. Brzrkr number 1, Mark Brooks foil from Boom Studios. We have a raw fair market value of $7 and a 9.8 copy selling for $44. All right, Marty, what do we have next?
Yeah, look at this one. This is Fantastic Four number 28, Peach Momoko, Marvel Rivals, published by Marvel in January of 2025. Peach Momoko will always have her fans. They showed up in a big way when this book was released and still have been. As the popularity of Marvel Rival grows, tie-in books like this will continue to have an aftermarket movement. But this one has the added benefit of being a Peach Momoko cover and features Jeff the Landshark, the mascot for the Marvel Rivals game. It doesn't have much else going for it, but that appears to be enough to sustain its aftermarket heat. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 242%, with a high sale of for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $8. So yeah, still attainable, right?
Yep.
Especially, Peach Momoko, she has her fan base, and just like the read says, she has that fan base. To me, it's either you hate her or you love her.
Yeah.
I don't see too many people in between with that,
I might be the oddball as always, but yeah, I'm the in-betweener when it comes to Momoko. I think most of her work is not my favorite. When she hits, she does hit, and this is a prime example. I think this is a wonderful cover. Obviously, we've said this for the last couple of weeks, months. How Marvel Rivals. I'm thinking comics all the time. It's terrible. But yeah, no, Marvel Rivals is just a very loved game. It's still going. Tons of DLCs coming out, and new characters, so people are excited. But I gotta say, out of all the Marvel Rival covers, I expected this one to do better than this, honestly, but it's still doing very well, and I think it's one of the better covers for the Marvel Rivals. So I like this. I think this slabbed would look beautiful, whether it's a blue label, yellow label, whatever it is you're into. I think it's just a stunning book.
I love the coloring, man, and not only that, I think as long as it brings in people to the comic book, right, to understand comic characters and who they are. I mean, even if it's younger children playing, getting to Marvel Rivals as a game, or seeing the comic book and loving Jeff the Landshark, right? So I think it's great. I mean, it's a good way to bring in younger readers, right? People that are interested. And just like you pointed out, Lando, what a gorgeous color to this. I see how it's just really beautiful, the use of purple and blue.
Yeah, we're about to get the actual Rivals comic that's dropping very soon in the upcoming weeks. There's several nice covers coming out as well. I think everybody's on, with Marvel Rivals comics just in general. So I don't know if those are going to explode. But again, still nice to have in the collection if you're a fan.
Yeah, this guy just read my mind. I was going to say that the 1-in-100, I'm curious how that's doing on the aftermarket, to have the Virgin.
Oh, it's doing fair. It's above ratio price, meaning over $100. So it's doing great.
Yeah, it's not bad. The trade on this doesn't bother me. It's not distracting to the art, so I would probably be okay with just snagging this up for $8.
Yeah.
All right, number 10, Fantastic Four. Number 28, Peach Momoko from Marvel Rivals. It came out in January of this year. CGC 9.8 copies, $64, and a near mint fair market value of $8. We are cruising right along. Lando, what do we have next?
Well, at number 9, guys, we have the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 9. This is the regular cover, of course, by Marvel back in August 1977. Daredevil Born Again is finally here. The pacing is quick, and already they have introduced the White Tiger who first appeared in this book. We still don't know how much he will be involved in the season, as the actor portraying him, Camar de los Reyes, tragically passed away in 2023. The future of this character iteration is obviously up in the air due to that, but that hasn't stopped fans from picking up his first appearance, which rests in peace, Kamar. We tracked 25 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 14%, with a high sale of $207 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw, fine, fair market value of $27. Marty, my brother, let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah. I have this one, man. I actually that puts me 1 on the board. So kudos to me, right? Yes. Man. Go ahead, Lando, please. Let's spit, brother.
So I saw that in the chat and I saw it on the screen. Yes, it says number 1. It's a typo on the slide. Don't worry about the slide. We care about the book.
Yeah.
But
ignore it.
The show is just incredible out the gate, and we've yet to really see much of White Tiger. So I don't know. Unfortunately, yeah.
You guys thought it was incredible out the gate? I've only watched episode 1 and I was not impressed.
It started. Oh,
I'm sorry.
You were what?
I watched episode 1 and
okay.
I wasn't blown away by it. I haven't seen episode 2 though, and I'm hoping that might hook me a little bit more. But episode 1 was just underwhelming. It was a little bit. Oh man, I'm gonna get slaughtered for this. I found it a little cheesy.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I the only thing I saw cheesy about it was how he directed the part when Fisk runs into Matt right outside of the building, and they kind of pan on him, and everything in the background is quiet. You know, you have the reporters out there and everything with the blue caps. They're trying to make it seem very, very what's going on in nowadays, right? What's going on in the world nowadays, if you will. So that's the only part that I felt was cheesy about it. But overall, I mean, that first fight scene, man, that draws you in, right? And that really draws you in. And then on the second episode, that last fight scene, that's a cliffhanger right there to hold on to.
So maybe that'll be the deal for me. Maybe if I see episode 2, I'll feel better about it. But episode 1, maybe I built it up too much. I don't know.
Marty, you saw the tattoo on the wrist, that fight scene in the second episode.
Yes,
right?
I did. I did see that.
Exactly. So episode 3 is out as we speak. So that's obviously gonna be watched immediately after the show.
Oh, that's getting watched right now. Exactly. I'm leaving, guys. Okay, if that's the case,
we just got you back. Please stay. But...
No. I see what you're saying. You know, you're gonna have mixed reviews for it, and I respect Laura's opinion on that.
It's an early opinion, and I'm not.
It's an early opinion, and no, you know, and at least you're taking a chance, because I did the same thing with what we watched before. Remember, I was just not big into it. It was the whole Penguin series, right? And I just had my opinion on it. And that, you know, remember that, and then I kind of been like, you know what, I'll watch, and I ended up enjoying it because I didn't really read into too much of the character, right? Anyways, suffice it to say, I think, you know, that being what it is, Laura, I think you're nuts about not enjoying that first scene, you know, that first fight scene, but I do respect your opinion on that.
Continuous fight, one shot, you see it's in, like, you got that like cinema looking stuff, and then it opens the big screen, widens, you hear the heartbeat, you hear everything. I won't spoil it, but my god, it's so well executed.
We'll see how
I'm telling you can feel Matt Murdock's rage, you can feel his pain. I mean, he does such an amazing job with that character that you really can feel that character's pain and suffering as he's going through this, and his anger at the end. That last end scene on episode 2, Marty. Oh my goodness, man! I just felt that rage for him. It was so overpowering. You could feel that as an audience member, you know.
Go back to the fight scene with Bullseye at the beginning on the first episode when he literally is in the opposite room and he throws two of the pool table balls, right? He throws two of them, knowing that Daredevil's gonna stop or attempt, right, for the woman. I don't want to go too much into detail, but it's just the fine details that they added to this show, man. It's just so good, dude. I watched that fight scene at least 20 times.
Oh, I watched it. To be honest, I watched that the first episode, the first fight scene twice, and I watched the second episode's last fight scene twice, just because it was just that good, man. I was just like, I can't believe what I was seeing. That was what it was, so I had to watch it twice.
All right, fanboys, I'll go back and watch episode 2 and see if that does anything else for me. But as of right now, I'm on the fence. And Reef, I don't want you to throw in the towel yet, because I'm not throwing in the towel yet. It's just episode 1, I just wasn't all that impressed with. But again, apparently I am the minority opinion there. So go in and see what you think. Number 9, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man #1, a 9.6 at $119, 7-day trend of 14%. Marty, what do we have for number 8?
Yeah, bringing it in again. We see this again. Number 8 brings you Invincible number 61, published by Image, April of 2009. We won't beat a dead horse here, but this book marks the first appearance of Conquest. We don't want to ruin anything, so suffice it to say, he's badass and is marked as before and after character for the title. With his introduction, Invincible became something different and never looked back for the remainder of its run. Check it out if you're so inclined, because in the end, Conquest is coming. We tracked 10 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 15%, with a high sale of $169 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $147. Okay. I hate to say this, but I've heard a lot of great reviews about Invincible, and I'm kind of really sorry that I didn't jump on that bandwagon when it first initially come out. Because I've been watching. I've been watching some of the Invincibles, and I'm really enjoying the show.
Dude, I'm so kind of like Daredevil. I've been anticipating it for this week. It's out tonight, but you have episode 8 of season 3 of Invincible dropping this week on what are we today? Tuesday, so I think it's Thursday. Yeah, dude, it's so good. As you said, I've said it in the past on previous shows. How this entire arc with Conquest is just amazing. I love it. Some of my favorite fights. It's really good. I love it.
It reminds, for some reason, I really enjoy the offbeat of your traditional superheroes and things like The Boys, The Invincible, right? Injustice. If you ever read that DC series, I think they even actually made a video game out of that as well. But I love those off, and that was one thing I looked at too when I was watching Batman and Superman. Was when I saw the Batman when he was in the desert, the Nightmare Batman scene, and then Superman. That's the Injustice Superman I've always pictured seeing that. But so I like these offbeat reads like this.
Yeah, and look, obviously, if you want to backtrack and start picking up some of these Invincible issues, well, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, and it'll set you back. But I do encourage everybody, maybe look at some trade paperbacks and definitely give this a shot. I think everyone who loves superheroes and wants to see something a little more edgy, Robert Kirkman is just incredible, and I love this.
I went back and rewatched episode 1. I was like, I'm gonna go back in here with a fresh perspective, and once again, nope. And it wasn't even the violence this time. I just wasn't drawn to it. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna be fired after this show, because it's just I did like that. I realized it was John Hamm, which I didn't know at first. Love Mad Men. I was like, oh, it's John Hamm talking. But yeah, I went and watched the episode again with Lando's voice in my head, watch it, it's amazing. And I just can't get out of it.
Give it a few episodes. Well, again, look, if you didn't read the series and you're not into it, I can understand why. You've made it very clear you're not into the brutal, excessive fight scenes, etc. So I get it. I get it.
I just want to get. I've already seen episode 1 once, so maybe again, if I can commit to 2 and 3 and try to get a little bit more in depth, because I did like what Marty was saying. I like the idea when he's trying to save the old lady and she ends up all bleh. It's that illustration of how being a superhero isn't pretty, and I like that. But we'll see. Anyway, number 8, Invincible number 61, top sale for 9.8, $338, 7-day trend of 15%. What do we have for number 7?
Well, at numero 7, we have Geiger issue 10, Gary Frank's second print by Image that came out just now, not too long ago, February 2025. Geiger was one of the most beloved titles of 2024, and they entered the new year with a bang. This issue marked the first cameo appearance of the Glowing Woman, but this second print took it a step further. Here it features the character front and center on the cover, which is an interesting move. It got fans' attention for her first full appearance in the following issue and prepped collectors for her next appearance in issue 12. We tracked 12 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 18%, with a high sale of $25 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $11. Now, that's exactly it. You have her first cover appearance, I guess we could say, right here on this cover. This is the panel at the end of the book, so you know how this works, guys. Cameos, first appearances, first full appearances, say whatever you want. But yes, issue 11 would be the first full appearance. We have issue 12 that's actually dropping this Wednesday, so tomorrow. Make sure to keep an eye out, because Glowing Woman's been a pretty interesting character. If you're a fan of the Ghost Machine universe, you're definitely going to want to, start paying attention to the Glowing Woman. It looks like she's going to be quite prominent within the series and be sticking around. So I dig her so far. We have her in one full issue, and obviously this last panel of issue 10. Issue 12 drops tomorrow alongside Redcoat from Ghost Machine. So yeah, good times, man. We're spoiled when it comes to reads, man. I'm telling you, there's good content, guys.
Has there been any rumors about this being optioned either, or is this just?
It's honestly, it's being written in a way where it's inevitable. If you
right, this is one that you read the tea leaves and this is going to get optioned eventually. It just has to.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic stuff. Redcoat going back, touching.
That's
on
big.
American.
That's big now. Yeah, absolutely. Anything post-apocalyptical. I mean, though you see a lot of shows coming out. I mean, that's I could see this being a good read, and just the cover alone. I mean, this is a very sexy character. So anytime you see a badass bitch fighting, and I mean, look at. I don't know if you guys saw the new trailer drop on of the what is it?
Thunderbolts?
No. The new trailer, man, with Keanu Reeves. He played that character. God, I got a brain fart, man.
John Wick? There's no
John Wick. Yes, thank you, John Wick. Yeah, they dropped a new trailer for John Wick.
Really?
But it's a female version. Okay, if you haven't seen the trailer for that John Wick one, it's called something else. Somebody in the chat help me out here, man. I got a brain fart, but it's a great. She looks amazing. You know what I mean? She's kicking butt. Ballerina. That's it, man. If you haven't seen that yet, man, watch that trailer. That's one of those trailers you have to watch multiple times because they show some really good fighting scenes on there.
All right,
it's your John Wick. It's your typical John Wick. You're gonna see a lot of killing.
I'm sold.
I haven't seen it, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. But guys, I'm a huge believer of the Ghost Machine stuff. And you know what? Forget options for a second, guys. Can we all just remember what we're here for? It's comics, man, and that's really the most enjoyable part. I encourage everybody to read this.
All right, number 7, Geiger number 10, Gary Frank's second printing with a CGC 9.8 for $60 and a 7-day trend of 18%. Marty, what do you have next for number 6?
Isn't me? I thought I just read Invincible number 61, but
no, it is.
Right. Had Geiger, and now
Geiger.
I was hoping you'd take it because I'm gonna have a little difficult time saying this title.
You want me to take it? I'll take it. Let's go.
Well, how would you say this? Sister Imperator?
So, Sister Imperator.
Sister Imperator. Okay, thank you. Thank you, lad.
Imperator.
Sister Imperator by Rafael Sarmiento, the regular cover by Dark Horse Comics, published in March of 2025.
What was that?
It was an attempt. It was a try, man. It was a try. Come on, give me some love for that. Give me some love. Anyways, Yes. Published by Dark Horse, March 2025. Following in the footsteps of Coheed and Cambria, the band Ghosts have developed an astounding lore surrounding the group. Part of that is Sister Imperator, and this book details the story behind the character. Fans of the band flocked to this book as it's severely under the radar until now. We tracked 27 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 100% with a high sale of $20 for a raw near mint plus copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $11. I don't know. I do not know anything about this book right here. I really cannot speak about this, to be honest with you. But I do love the cover. It's a dark. You got some scary clown kids in the background. So yeah, it's a nice cover.
Yeah. So Ghost is a band. And you just mentioned Coheed and Cambria, which is a phenomenal band. We've seen several of their books hit the list on the, I think it was the Shakers show a few times. And now when we get to Ghost fans, I mean, you either love them or you hate them. They're a trip, but it's very interesting because the character Sister Imperator basically was the leader of the United Clergy, of Ghost, and the architect of the Ghost Project until her death in September 2023. So I obviously read that, but it's just to give you guys a little information because they're very, I guess you could say like satanic metal band. So if you're not into that, I can understand why. But for those fans of the band Ghost, I think people were anticipating this and excited about this because now you're going to get to learn more about this character. So it ties into all of that stuff, which it makes it, I guess, appealing.
Yeah,
it's like a Greg Horn cover, doesn't it? Almost has his style.
I don't know, man. With kids on there, I hope not.
I'm looking at Raphael Sarmento as we speak. His art is insane. Like while you guys were talking, I was just like Googling it. He has some really powerful covers. I'm surprised we don't hear this name more. Really cool
what's his name?
Raphael. I just said it. Sarmento.
Raphael Sarmento.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna ping him here after we're done. All right, number 6, Sister Imperator. Damn it.
Imperator.
Yeah.
Imperator. Yeah.
You think imperative, but yeah. Raw near mint, $11, 7-day trend of 100%. We are halfway there, folks. So before we get moving on to the next one, make sure you give the show a thumbs up and sub if you haven't already. In addition to the Tuesday top 10, we have Lando hosting the Shakers on Thursdays, and there's comments covered. So yeah, there's a lot of content for you throughout the week. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment afterwards. That way we know we're doing a good job. All right, let's get some Mark Spears in our life, yeah?
Just to clear up, I did say Greg Horn. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I heard it, yeah.
Okay. But guys.
Oh, look at that bulldog on that cover right there, right?
There's Marty's dog. But guys, what would the top 10 be without a Mark Spears book? And of course, we have Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, Space Quest #1 by Mark Spears. This one here being the Ashcan by Dynamite Entertainment, and it dropped in February 2025. While Space Ghost and Johnny Quest aren't necessarily household names anymore, they can be when, I guess, Mark Spears is attached to it. This book was offered as an Ashcan preview featuring Mark Spears' iconic style, and that clued collectors in on taking a second look. It's been doing well on the aftermarket and will help bring some attention to the title once it drops in full. We tracked 15 copies sold of this Ashcan at a 7-day growth trend of 7%, with a high sale of $42 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $28. Marty.
Okay. I have to. I can't believe I missed out on this, first of all. It's a Mark Brooks, right? And plus it has a bulldog on it.
No.
It has two great things going for it. It's, I can't believe I missed out, man.
Mark Spears, not Brooks.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, Mark Spears. Sorry, Mark Spears.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I get tongue twisted, man.
Yeah, but it look, ash cans all across the board, man. Anytime I see ash cans available at a shop, I'm definitely picking them up. Mark Spears doing Mark Spears things with this one, and it's I gotta say the kids look a little creepy though. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Johnny Quest, I don't know, man. I'm scared.
I like it. I dig it.
I
I
like
don't
it.
think
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I really do. I think he did a great job on it, as always. You know, it strikes me as very realistic in this in the style that he does. You know, and he adds so many different colors. It's you know it's different. He's using the purple on this one, right? I mean, sort of a purple than his signature blue.
That's true. You would have imagined it being an all blue background just to kind of stay true to his form. But either way, it's cool. I like it. Yeah. And I'm with Lando. Ash cans are always, in my opinion, a good pickup, especially if you can get them at a nice price.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys saw for Batman 159, there's an Ash can that's going to be coming out. So keep an eye out.
Number 5, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest. Space Quest number 1, the Mark Spears Ash can. Top sale raw near mint, $28, which Marty, that doesn't seem too bad. If you can still snag it for about, I mean, you could probably get it for 25 if you put in a good offer.
I gotta have it. As I say, I gotta have it.
7% trend. And to answer somebody's question in the chat, I don't see the Mark Spears train slowing down anytime soon. He's doing a lot of work on so many different projects right now. So I think it's going to keep up for a while. All right, what do we have next?
Yeah, number 4 brings you Red Hulk number 1. This is the Joshua Cassara PX Previews, limited to 3,000, published by Marvel in February 2025. Red Hulk is all the rage currently, and Marvel is capitalizing with an all-new series. This one features the Think Tank introduction and a new Red Hulk in Robert Maverick. It also serves as a tie-in for the One World Under Doom event, so this cover nails the assignment. Collectors deemed it a must-have and acquired it in spades. We tracked 83 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 13%, with a high sale of $90 for a raw near mint plus copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $73. Wow, 83 copies sold in 7 days. Not too bad. I think it's a interesting cover. You know, it's a nice cover, not bad. So I can see, and this is a variant edition to this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like the reflection of Red Hulk, obviously on Doom's mask, but just to give you guys a little insight as to why I believe this is really getting some traction on the secondary market. Okay. You said it at the beginning. Yes, Cassara did a great job, but this is a PX Previews exclusive. Diamond, guys. Diamond, you all know what's happening with Diamond, the distributor right now. So it is believed that this possibly could be the final PX exclusive from Diamond. So if that be the case, that's why people are flocking to this. In my opinion, there's many other PX exclusives that exist on the secondary market, whether it be I don't know, Venom 7 with the first cameo of Dylan. There's tons of great covers. TMNT, we got a tons of them for the longest time, but this might be the last one. And if that is the case, then yeah, I think this holds.
I think that's definitely part of it. I would say it's mostly just a cover buy just because of all the Doom news and all that jazz. But I would say that definitely weighs in, Lando. That's an interesting part of this whole equation that I hadn't actually considered. So
it's a good take. It's a good perspective on that, Lando. Really good, man.
I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest. So I mean, time will tell. We'll do a reflection show on this one day and see if it held. Number 4, Red Hulk number 1, the Cassara PX Previews, limited to 3,000, came out February of this year. 9.8, $173, 7-day trend of 13%. What do we have for number 3?
Number three. Well, guess who's back? Back again. Secret Wars. Number 2. Alex Ross, the regular cover, Marvel, May 2015. This book marks the first appearance of God Emperor Doom, an alternate reality version of Doom. Recently, there have been leaks online for Avengers Secret Wars featuring the character, but at this time, they're proving to be nothing more than rumors. Always take leaks with a grain of salt, guys, including this one, but that's a major reason why this book was booming on the aftermarket last week. We tracked 30 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 41% with a high sale of $118 for a CGC 98 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $22. Guys, those leaks better be real That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. Take it with a grain
Yeah.
of salt, shall we? Yes, okay, fine. But man, it was amazing. He looked so good. Doom, all of them, all the characters. We saw Hulk, we saw She-Hulk, we saw everybody. Sergeant Strange. Yes,
Yeah.
tell me more, baby. It looked incredible, man. And you saw Doom at the throne beside him being Sue Storm with Franklin. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, it is the leaks were wonderful. The person who leaked it seems a little credible too. So I guess that's what really got people on this.
I couldn't even focus on what you were saying. I was listening to Marty's dog the whole
I
time.
heard that
Mhm.
too. Heard that too.
Yeah, there. I have my sidekicks right behind me, snoring
What's
their.
the story? Oh my
I,
god.
I keep putting the dog to sleep when I read. I get
It's
it.
this one. Well, you don't see right. It's this one right here.
Oh, I
And then
can't
there's
see that
another
one.
one right there. And there's a couple other ones off screen.
Puppy.
It's all
They're big. Yeah. So this
anyway,
puts me two on the list today. Man, I'm tracking away here.
I haven't counted, but I know I'm well over 5, so that's good. I think
Good for you, man.
we're doing okay.
do
Yeah.
multiples count of anything? Because there's a couple of here that.
Yes, I
Is that
have.
like
Well,
double
this one
points?
alone, Laura. I think I have like at least 10 copies.
Yeah, I think I have
Yep.
several of these too. So
Yeah. I
we'll
remember
see
when
how
they
it is.
first came out. Yep.
I want to go to your house, Marty, and just lay on your dog's stomach and just cuddle it.
Yeah. I think they would love that, Laura. They would
Yeah,
absolutely
can we
love
let
that.
me cuddle?
They love the belly rubs too. So the bellies, the belly and the bum rubs. That's their thing.
They're so cute. Number 3, Secret Wars. Number 2, a 9.8 at $118, 7-day trend of 41%. And like Landa was just saying, this illustrates the power of spec. Little tiny hints, and we all go nuts, right? Pays
That's
off
right.
sometimes it doesn't. What do we have for number 2?
Yeah. Number 2 brings you Impact Winter number 1. This is the regular cover published by Image of July 2022. In 2025, and podcasting is still a billion-dollar industry. However, a lot of projects fall under the radar as the sector is no longer growing at a rapid pace. Take this book, a prequel tie-in to the Audible audio drama. Last month, Netflix acquired the rights to develop a series based on the IP. And now that the news is hitting the masses, collectors are out in force, aiming to acquire this book. Ooh, excuse me. We tracked 26 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 43%, with a high sale of $40 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $29. I don't know, Lando, do you know anything about this book, man?
So when I received the list just before the show, this struck me by surprise because I've really never even paid attention to this, never heard of it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing some homework on it, and yeah, you there is an Audible, so you can listen to this. I think it's like a 4-hour listening too to go through the whole thing. Yeah, something along those lines. And yeah, I've had no idea about this book. This one took me completely by surprise on the list.
You know, is it only a one issue series?
So
I don't see anything about it.
It says it's a one shot. And yeah, I've not read this. So now that I saw this on the list, I can assure you I'm gonna give it a read.
Yeah.
But I really wondered what was making this spike. Like
There's several one-shots in this series. So you have the one from 2022, which is the one we're looking at. Then they have one in 2023 and one in 2024. So it's like these little independent chunks.
Well, remember we had talked about we just mentioned it, post-apocalyptic things are selling, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like I know Netflix acquired the rights to develop a series, and it's crazy because anytime we hear somebody acquiring rights or it's in development or it's being optioned, whatever, it's like immediately such books like this spike, man, and it's very interesting to see, guys, because I've been noticing for quite some time there's a lot of these indie books that these creators, these places like Netflix, movie companies, whatever it may be, like they're really focused on paying attention to indie books, and I encourage everybody to start doing the same. This one I've never even heard of up until today. So
yeah, the indie stuff
it's hit or miss on these indie books, especially if they do come in. I don't know, there hasn't been, in my personal opinion, a lot of of these indie books that do go to screen. I remember Outcast was one of them. I enjoyed that for the first few episodes, but after a while, and I collected the Outcast series as well. But yeah, this is interesting. I'd like to give this a read just to see where it goes with this. But if it does actually go to the big, not the big screen, but even Netflix series or whatever, I like to see what this does.
Yeah, just to give you a very interesting stat, tonight's list, guys, 7 out of the 11 books that we are going to talk about or spoke about are indie books.
Cool. I like it.
I like it.
I like
I love it. No, I don't just like it. I love it.
Number 2, Impact Winter number 1, raw near mint, $29, 7-day trend of 43%. Last but not least, what do we have for this week's number 1?
Bring it home, Lando.
We started the list with Brzrkr. We're ending it with Brzrkr. That's right, baby. A numero uno. Raphael Grandpa's cover Brzrkr number 1, the regular. Boom Studios, February 2021. It feels like the adaptation hype behind this book has been building for years. The series was optioned for film way back in late 2021, and just recently, a director, Justin Lin, was attached to the project. That's often how these things go, as we were just saying. With years in between announcement and adaptation, with numerous projects falling by the wayside in the interim, this project just got a shot in the arm, and so did its aftermarket movement. We tracked 40 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 28%, with a high sale of $100 for a CGC 98 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $4. Yeah, $4. Still affordable.
Yeah. Still affordable. I didn't collect the variants, man. I just went with just the regular A cover on these. So I was just looking at my my Collector Z, and I think I just actually looked like it went up to like 11, and that's about it. But yeah, I didn't do a lot of the variants, man, because I remember when this first came out, number 1, there were like hundreds of variants to this. I exaggerate, but there was a lot, and there were some really nice ones too, and really good ones. And trying to keep up with that, especially around this time coming up to 2021, everybody was home, things were coming out, and you had COVID, and so yeah, there was just a lot of these. I just stuck to the basics.
Marty, you say variants related to this book, dude. There were several variants that were available, whether in open order we had, but man, when you get to the because there was incentives, but the retailer exclusives, dear lord. We all spoke about TMNT issue number 1 that just recently dropped, having a ton of exclusives, but man, this one's up there as well. There were lots of exclusives. Brzrkr was heavily hyped at launch. That is one thing that I think we can all agree. We all foresaw this coming because obviously you've got Keanu Reeves tied to this. Keanu Reeves was actually he made a little surprise appearance at Terrificon last year. He last second announced because his band was playing. I think it was on the Thursday night prior to Terrificon, and I guess he heard of Terrificon, made an appearance Friday, opened it up to, I believe, 100 people or something like that. And he was just saying, anybody bring in a Brzrkr book, I'll sign it for free type thing. And that
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. It immediately got filled up. Like, Laura, you remember that particular trip I made to Terrificon? We did the Shaker show on the Thursday night, and I drove straight to Terrificon from here.
Right. Yeah. You did. I remember that.
Dude, I drove through the night just to make this signing. And
dude, I had no idea. I would have sent you books for me to get signed if I knew
it would have been a waste, because by the time I got there, like we were maybe 30 minutes out, and I got a text message saying, guys, it's capped off. I'm like, damn it.
Damn, man. Yeah. Absolutely. And he's such a humble guy too, He's not all that flashiness about all the flashiness and a lot of money. He donates a lot of his money to charity, and he's just a very good, just a good person, And like I said, the John Wick, man, if you haven't seen the ballerina one, man, I think actually they show a part with him in it too. So I don't want to ruin it for you, but you're gonna enjoy it, man.
I need to watch it now. I'm intrigued, Marty. Number 1, Brzrkr number 1, top sale, $9.8, $70, 7-day trend of 28%. That's it for us tonight, guys. But before we go, quick round table. Landa, we'll start with you.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. The top 10, like I told you, I didn't think it would be an O for Abyss type list. I think everybody had an opportunity here. Marty made the board. I made the board. Laura made the board. Chat, I saw a majority of you made the board. If you're watching the replay, comment below. Let us know if you made the list, man. It was a great list. So thank you guys for tonight. Don't forget Thursday. We are going to bring you the shakers. Marty's back. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Last but not least, my main man, Marty.
Man, it is so good to be back, and it's so good to be with my family here, the panel members. What was that? What was that, Laura? What did you say?
Again, ever.
Okay, okay. Yes, I will. I have to do it for you guys, right? Absolutely have to do it. I really enjoyed tonight, and it felt really good, again, talking about comic books, seeing what's out there, seeing the market trend, watching those people in the comments in the chat. You know, I really enjoyed that. You guys are definitely a breath of fresh air for me. So may the comic gods continue to bless your long boxes, and our spirit of our friend TiVo continue to look down on you and bless you with silver, modern, bronze, copper, and all the good happinesses you want. Excelsior.
Excelsior. There's no other way to end this show. That was perfect. Nope. Guys, have a good night. We will see you right after this on the Runners Up over on Comic Book Women. Have a good night.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.